Imagine having a personal guide to help you navigate the twists and turns of your career. Someone who's been there, done that, and is ready to share their wisdom with you. What if I told you that such a relationship could be the key to unlocking your full potential? In today's episode, we delve into the transformative world of mentoring relationships. Welcome to Keys to the Future. I'm your host, Gabby Coe. I've enjoyed a successful engineering career and I'm passionate about empowering the next generation of STEM leaders. Together, we'll dive into the journeys of trailblazers who are changing the world and uncover the insights that will help you unlock the future you're meant to create. Let's get started. Today, we're joined by a dynamic systems engineer who knows how to turn complex problems into streamlined solutions. With her expertise in model based systems engineering, she's passionate about learning and finding smarter and faster ways to get things done. She earned her bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Old Dominion University and is working on her master's degree in systems engineering at the University of Virginia. Please welcome Casey Smith. Casey, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights with the Keys to the Future community.
Thank you for having me on today.
I'm excited to get this conversation started and share our perspectives about mentoring relationships. So, I'm wondering, as a mentee, why do you think mentors are important in someone's career?
I think it's important to always have someone to learn from, to reach out to who's been there before, and have someone who could give you advice on how to reach your goals. You could see what's worked for them, what they've seen work for others, and also what doesn't work so well, what mistakes to avoid.
Absolutely. Those are really great reasons, right? So that you want to learn from their lessons learned.
Yeah, you must have had some mentors of your own along your journey as well. How did you go about finding these mentors throughout your career?
That's a very good question. And growing up, my older brother was my beacon. He was older, so I always looked up to him. And he would say, observe what others are doing and see how they do it. And decide for yourself if that's something that you want to emulate. So having that kind of guidance early on, I have sought out others' help, not in the sense to have people do things for me, but in the sense of getting their perspectives so I can form my own views and make my own decisions, but well informed decisions to guide my journey. So I've had mentors throughout my career. Some mentors have been one-to-one relationships. Others have been just as role models where you are, observing their how they behave. But to answer your question, I've taken the approach of making observations, looking around and make observations, observe the people that I want to emulate, observe their behaviors, how they treat others, how they conduct themselves, and what are they doing the types of work that I like to do or hold the position that I aspire to be in the future. So I think you can learn a lot from people just by observing them in the day-to-day activities, right? Seeing how their integrity, if they're empathetic, and their overall outlook in life. Because I think that you kind of gravitate to the type of people that you aspire to be, the type of behaviors, right? Not the type of people, but the type of behaviors. So you can learn what to do and what not to do, right? In some
Yeah.
cases. So that approach, then I've been able to kind of from that observation make my own decisions. Okay, this is the person that I want to reach out to and approach and maybe get to know them at a more personal level and then broach the subject of, I'm thinking of going down this path, and it seems like in your career you had similar things or activities that I want to do or aspire to do. And
Hmm.
so that starts the relationship, right? And I've never really had anyone who said, no, I don't want to mentor you. So I think people are open to share their experiences more than not, right? So, but I'm also wondering, what made you decide to seek mentorship, and how did you choose your mentors?
Well, see, I always want to grow. I always want to be challenged. And sometimes it's hard to figure out how to do that yourself. So, what I do is I look around and see who's doing good work around me. Who do I admire? Who do I want to be more like? Maybe they have a skill that I want, and I seek those people out and I ask them for advice in those areas. And sometimes you don't even have to do that. Sometimes it could also be look around and just observe what are other people doing. So I think in that way you could also have more of informal mentors as well. So yeah.
That's great.
Um,
It's pretty similar, right, to what your approach and my approach, but I think it works. It can work.
yeah, I think so too. Could you share significant challenges that you faced and how you were able to overcome them with help of mentors?
Yeah, absolutely. How much time do you have? I've had so many challenges in my careers, but who doesn't, right? That's part of life. But I think one of the challenges that I think has been around for a long time that I tried for a long time to get rid of is self-imposed. It's like having that imposter syndrome, thinking early
Mm.
on in my career, am I good enough to do this job? Do I have what it takes? Do I have the skills that it takes? And having those anxieties about, should I be here, right? I recently watched that movie Inside Out 2. Have you seen that movie?
No.
So I highly recommend it because I think it's relevant to all ages. I think, you can let the anxieties take control, but if you just settle down and put the effort that you need to put in to do the next thing, right? There's no such thing as a free lunch, but take the steps that you're required to gain that skill, to get to the next level, to move to another position and so on. I think you can quiet those anxieties and just do the work that it takes to get you to where you want to go or to accomplish your goals. So, and I think also along the way, find your tribe, those people that are going to be with you in the highs and in the lows, and encourage you to keep on going, right? And also hold you accountable. So I think, mentors have helped me see the goodness in myself and believe it. Sometimes has been a challenge for them to do that, but I think mentors are a good conduit to help you believe in yourself. My brother used to tell me, if you busted your chops achieving your goals, aren't you deserving of all the accolades and the celebration? And why can you be recognized? Mentors like him have had the same message and reassurance. So sure, things are not going to go well 100% of the time because that's life, but I think you're worth it whatever step you're in. Just keep on trying. That's one of the challenges that has been around longer than I want it to be. So, but now I'm also wondering, what has been a challenging aspect of your career and how mentorship helps you navigate it?
Yeah, so for me, I also struggle with the imposter syndrome. So that's not what I was going to speak on, but it's good to have a mentor, someone who can believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself, and really that gives you the confidence to just keep going and want to do better. So I really like that you said that. But for me, I feel like one of the most challenging aspects of my career recently has been balancing conflicting priorities. I have this tendency to say yes to everything because I want to feel helpful and I want to be helpful to others around me. But then I end up in a situation where I'm overloading myself. And we just spoke about this yesterday, actually. So this is very relevant. But you definitely helped me with this situation, just saying, like, you need to be more transparent and tell people this is what I'm dealing with. This is my bandwidth right now. And also, I thought it was really important that you said that you can still say yes, but there's important to put some boundaries on it. So you could say yes, I can do it, but I have XYZ going on. That way they're not expecting it right away and you could still manage your current priorities.
Right.
Yep. So
That's really, yeah. I mean, I think it's important to be transparent and set those boundaries so that you can do the good work that it takes to do that activity that you're being asked to do.
yes, exactly. So Gabby, now I'm wondering, what are some expectations that you have for your mentees?
That's also a good question. I mean, I think three things come to mind. I think be willing to learn and being open-minded, right? And receptive to feedback. Also be eager to grow personally and professionally. I think without these, I think we're limiting the relationship, right? And then the second thing I think about is have a commitment and follow through, be reliable, show up on time, and take action on what advice is being provided. and follow through with your goals. Really hold yourself accountable, but also expect maybe others to hold you accountable. Those people in your tribe, if you will, to get that feedback, to be accountable. The third thing that I'm going to say is be open about your goals and struggles. So I think communication is the one of the key things and the key aspects of mentoring relationships is having that transparency. So we build trust first of all, right? And then also understand not only the struggles but what specific advice is being asked about, right?
Hmm.
And so that way it makes it meaningful. So this will be the three things that I would say. But what about you? What do you expect from a mentor in terms of guidance and support?
It's a good question. I expect someone who is really going to listen and be responsive, but I also respect that they have their own life going on. I think it's important that a mentor is responsive because if you have an issue that's more of a timely matter, then it's good to get the advice when you need it. So I think that's really important. And then also having tangible advice to give, I think is important as well. Like what can I be doing right now in my particular situation? So if you're able to tell your mentor exactly what you've got going on, I guess I would expect them to be able to understand exactly what shoes I'm in and what I could be doing.
I like that way that you said tangible, right? Because I think we can pontificate a lot. People can pontificate a lot, but I think the tangible advice is something that is actionable that as mentees, right, we can do. If I ask my mentor something about a specific situation that I'm having, I would also expect some tangible advice right away, not necessarily long term, but that tangible advice will lead me to completing or to the path that I want to go down to, or perhaps solve the problem that I'm having to solve. But having that tangible aspect is important, I think. So that's a good that
Yeah. And it seems like you get a lot from your mentors in terms of what they're providing you, but what do you feel like you are provided from your mentees? How do you think they help you grow and how you can learn from them?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a two-way street. I was talking to somebody the other day who said, first, I didn't think that I, could get a mentor because I didn't know what I could offer them. Right. But I think it's a two-way street. I learned so much from the people that I mentor, their energy, their perspective, right? Their perspective broadens my perspective even more. And maybe they're having some challenges that are similar to challenges other people that I mentor may be having. So I think it's important to be transparent, right? But I think for me is having that energy, that support in a way, right? Because I'm feeling fulfillment that I'm helping somebody kind of navigate their path, not because they're going to do the things that, that tangible advice, it's not going to be the same, right, as I took down my own path. But learning from my lessons learned hopefully help somebody skip some steps. And so that I find fulfillment in that, sharing my perspective and my experiences, my own journey, in hopes to inspire others. But mostly I get fulfillment from their fresh perspectives. So I think it's definitely a two-way street for me.
Yeah, I agree. It does feel great to help out someone else.
Yeah. And, they inspire me to continue to learn new things because that's always continuing to learn new things. It keeps you going. It keeps you fresh. It keeps your perspective fresh and not outdated or stagnant. So I think having mentees that are, reaching out to me, uh, I always try and find out what they're up to, what they're doing so that, I'm learning from them as well.
That's
So
great.
what advice would you give to other mentees about communicating and managing their own expectations with their mentors?
I would say to be prepared for your meetings and have areas in your mind that you know that you want to improve on just so you're not going into the meeting not having any idea what you're going to talk about. I think it's good to have some sort of direction coming from the mentee side. It's respecting and valuing your mentor's time because you know they are the ones that are going out of their way to help you grow. So I think that's something that I would really push on other mentees.
That's a good idea. I think it's, a matter of respect, right? Both ways. Transparency, respect for one another, and respect for the relationship. So, I mean, I think those are great advice as well.
I have a question. So, what advice would you give to someone who is considering being a mentor, and how would you advise them on setting realistic and effective expectations?
Yeah, that's also a good question because just like you said earlier, listening. I would say listening is the number one aspect. Deep listeners so that you can fully understand the challenges that that person is having or the advice that they're seeking because a lot of times it's not just challenges. Most of the time I think is just getting that perspective so they can make informed decisions, right? So that's a way of just really listening, deep listening such that you understand what's going on, what may be going on, what advice they're seeking so that you can provide that tangible advice that you mentioned earlier, right? And then the second is to ask questions of the mentee, what they like to do, their interests, just what are they doing at work or in their personal life so that you're not just addressing challenges but also having a holistic type of relationship just like you would outside work with your friends where you're kind of learning about people at a personal level, what they do, how they're doing overall in their in their life, in their work aspect. So I think it's good to be a deep listener and also get to know them at a personal level so that you have that holistic relationship.
And that goes into fostering the trust that you were talking about earlier, getting to know them personally and really building that relationship.
Casey, thank you so much for sharing your insights with the Keys to the Future community.
Of course, thank you for your time, Gabby.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. Stay ahead in your STEM journey. Follow Keys to the Future on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and Facebook for the latest insights, tips, and inspiration to help you thrive in your career.